All right, we have an air quality health advisory in place for a good portion of western Colorado, extending from Mesa County all the way down to Montezuma County and even out to eastern parts of the southwest part of the state. This is going to go until 9 a.m. on Sunday, and this is because of that wildfire smoke reducing that air quality. And it can be bad to breathe, especially if the visibility is reduced to less than 5 miles because of that smoke. Now, we do have those fires going on currently, anywhere from the ones over toward the Black Canyon and then out even toward Utah. Got some of those large fires going on there, contributing to that smoke. Now, taking a look at this map, this is for near surface smoke, so basically smoke near the surface. And where we see the yellows, the reds, and even some of the greens, that's where we have the highest concentrations, while the blues, still some smoke concentrations, but not as much. As we put this forward in time, most of the smoke is happening around those major fires, but elsewhere, especially here in Grand Junction, could maybe see some smoke, but doesn't to be as much compared to those areas. Even during the overnight, begins to wind down a little bit, but still, again, around those major fires, still having the highest smoke concentrations. But during the day, the wind can blow it, especially more toward the south, if not primarily around those areas. Today, the wind is primarily blowing it toward those southern areas, which is why we do have that advisory. But as we head into tomorrow, especially by the time 9 a.m. rolls around, looks to be much quieter for a good portion, especially those southern areas. But those areas near those fires that are going on, which is indicated here in those reds, that's where that smoke can be expected to continue. Now, because of the smoke, we're going to see those higher values primarily in the morning, and it's because of what's called an inversion. And so I'll explain how that works. So usually in the atmosphere, during at least around the near surface, we have the warmest air. As you go up in height, that air gets colder. And what it allows to have happen is the warmer air, it's less dense than that cool air. And so it allows that air to rise up into the atmosphere, which is useful, especially if you have smoke around, so it can be able to escape into the atmosphere and get out of here. But the problem is when you have an inversion, so basically we have the warmer air on top and that colder air below. That cold air, it's, like I said, more dense, so it's not going to be able to rise above that warm inversion, and so that means you're going to have that smoke and even just that bad air quality, especially in those big cities where you have is that bad air in the atmosphere. It's not able to escape as readily because of that inversion. So that's why we'll continue to see that smoke primarily in the mornings over the next few days, especially in those areas closest to the fire. Now, about these wildfires, we do also have a no burn advisory for Mesa County that Mesa County Public Health has put out. So all outdoor burning is prohibited until further notice. And like I mentioned, the smoke is going to be thickest in the morning. And with our current weather conditions, that wildfire risk is going to continue to stay pretty high, enough to be concerning. And those fires, they can also spread especially if there's some localized strong winds around those fires, it can blow some of those embers to the atmosphere. And those can land in another location and cause even more fires. And with our current weather conditions, it's pretty high, and with these continued dry conditions and really no rain inside at the moment, it's not going to help with the situation. Now, our low temperatures for tonight, we're looking at 67 degrees in Grand Junction, 60 degrees in Delta, 62 degrees in Colburn, 60 in Montrose, and 51 degrees in Cortez. And tomorrow, under those sunny conditions, we're going to see temperatures warm into the 80s, and especially the 90s around lunchtime, and then in the afternoon, triple digits in some areas. And those high temperatures elsewhere, 102 degrees in Delta, 96 degrees in Montrose, and 97 degrees in Cortez. Now, take a look at your 7-day forecast. It's going to be a sunny one and a lot of triple digits in the forecast. But later in the week, we could have a disturbance move through the area, especially on Friday and Saturday, and give us some rain chances. Montrose looking at mid-90s for the week with morning lows in the 60s. And in Delta, also triple digits until later in the week when that high pressure begins to weaken, possibly with those morning lows in the 60s. And then taking a look at Cortez, primarily in those mid-90s, before dropping down to the low 90s later in the week with those morning lows in the 50s.